Hi, it's Paul. Welcome to version 3 of Microsoft Project. It's a getting started series on how to use Microsoft Project if you've never used it before. Okay, the other day I went over creating a project from scratch, and this time I'm going to start with, I've got some project information here in Microsoft Excel, and I'm going to use that as a starting point. So first thing I need to do is I'm just going to copy the tasks that I have here, and I've got some durations. So I'm just Control C to copy. And then I'll go over to Project, and I'm going to open a new Microsoft Project. Now, Project has all these different templates that are kind of tempting to maybe use, like here's residential construction, and there's a commercial construction one here somewhere. There it is. The problem is Microsoft Project is it's a very deep software. There's a lot it can do. And if you start with a template that someone else has built, you don't know how many of those sometimes hidden features are incorporated in the template. So you're going to spend a lot of time maybe fighting with it to get figured out what's going on. So I always like starting with a blank template. And I'll just click under task and paste all my task information in. Okay, so I've got a bunch of tasks and I've got durations, and that's basically all I have. I didn't tell it a start date, so it's starting today, which is July 29th, 2026. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change all these to automatically scheduled. So I'll just highlight everything and click on auto schedule, and that gets it to the format that I prefer. Now the next thing, if I go back to my Excel sheet, I can see here, here's my original data. I can see here I've got some hierarchies of things. Under purchase mill, I've got 3 activities. Under delivery, I've got 3 or 4 activities. So I'm going to go to this information, and I'm just going to demote some of these. So to do that, oops, I did the wrong thing. Don't want to do that yet. I'll highlight those 3 tasks, and I'm going to click on the arrow and demote them. Under delivery, I've got a few tasks. Under installation, I've got probably those ones. Inspections, I've got a few inspections. Startup, I've got a few activities. And then under training, I've got a couple of activities. Okay, so now I've got all my activities, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate things a little bit with the graphical tools. So I'll just get my window a little bigger. I don't need these 2 columns showing. And I want to show my predecessor column here. I don't care about resources for now, so I'm going to hide that. By the way, with these columns, I'll click on Add New Column. There's probably a couple hundred different options. All of these are active all the time, and you never actually delete a column or create a column. All you do is you display it or you hide it. So just something to keep in mind for later. So I'm going to hide resource names because I don't care about that for now. Okay, now I've got all these bars, and when I put my mouse over the bar, I've got different things happen. It can be % complete, so I can mark how complete a task is. And I can go to the end, and I can change the duration. So if I do that again, you can see getting quotes is 30 days. I might decide that I'm going to change that down to 20.5 days. Maybe I'll make that 20 days. Oops. I can change my duration in a few different ways. I can drag it manually. I can go over here and type the days. I can also open the dialog for quotes, and under general, right here it's at 20 days, so I can change it there. Maybe I'll go 22 days. So there's a lot of different ways to change it. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to link these three activities: quotes, place in an order, and paying the invoices. There's a few ways I can do it. First, I can highlight them and I can click on this icon up here, and that will automatically link them. Or I can break the links with this icon beside it. Another thing I can do is I can just drag from one to the next and it creates a link. And now those two are linked. So that's another way to do it. I'll just undo that. Under place order, I can type in the predecessor. This is number 3. So I can create a link like that. I can also open the dialog, so I'll open pay invoices. And for predecessors, I want to use number 4. And that creates a link. Now with the dialog, I'll just open that again. Notice it defaults from finish to start. So when one task finishes, the next one starts. But what I could do is I can make that start to start. And you can see that they both start at the same time. So lots of different ways to link tasks, and it's kind of just a matter of preference whether you do it manually or with it by dragging things around, or do it with automatic icon. I tend to like using the icon because it's faster, so I'll just highlight these guys, click on this icon here, and I'm going to do that for each one of these groups. Where's my link? There it is. Okay, so I've got all the tasks within a subgroup linked, but they're not linked between groups. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so I can see it better. Now this is maybe where linking things by dragging is better. So I'm going to link those two activities, and then installation is going to happen after delivery. So I'll just click anywhere on that bar. Oh, I missed it. And link those guys. And I guess this is a good way to link things between activities, or between when the tasks aren't next to each other. And it looks like my computer's being a little bit slow today. Just zoom out a bit so I can see better. And come on, there we go. Let's do that the wrong way. And my computer's being really slow, so I'm going to manually, for startup, I want to link that to inspection, so I'll just put in 20. And for training, I'm going to put in the predecessor of startup, so I'll put 24 in there. Okay. Now I've got all my tasks in there, and sometimes it's hard to get a good zoom level to show the amount of the Gantt chart that you want to show. But I've got everything in there. Another thing I could do as the project's going along, I can use my mouse and set it to the little percent icon, and I can mark how complete each one is. I can also click on the task, and up here I can mark it 50% complete, and you see it does the same thing. I don't want to mark any of those complete yet because that's going to interfere with some of my next steps. That's getting the project set up. The next thing we're going to talk about is putting some dollars in and how we start tracking costs. So that'll be in the next video. Okay, see you soon. Or you'll see me soon. I won't see you at all. Thanks.